Okay, I should be live. Wonderful. Okay, I've got a great lesson planned for you guys today, and we're going to describe. Let's describe. And the title is The Runaway. So we'll be using this picture right here to use as the foundation for our lesson, right? And let me send my greeting in the comments. Hello and welcome to this live English lesson. We're going to do lots of describing and pronunciation today. Great. And of course, we'll have a quiz. All right, so let's jump in and get started. What are we going to do in this lesson? Well, we're going to use this picture as the foundation for everything. There's a lot going on. First, we'll do a summary, right? We'll give you a simple way to explain this picture, which doesn't go into a lot of detail, but it gives you a good way to explain things. All right, let me move something up here on my screen. Okay, Garden is in the comments and says hello. I say hi. Or she says hi, I say hello. She or he? Garden, I'm not sure. Okay, so we have the summary. Then we will do the setting. We will describe the setting of this picture, the time, the place, the environment, right? Leah Huda says hi, hi. Hello, hello. All right, then we will describe the action in this picture, the movement, the people, the motion, what's going on. And of course, we're going to do a story. This is where I let my imagination go a little bit crazy. All right, and after we get through sections 1 through 4, we're going to do a quiz. That's right. And we're going to have nice music in the background as we go. All right, so let's jump in. Here we go. Let's start with the summary. Okay, so the summary is just a brief description of this picture. And it's good to be able to summarize things because we can do things, you know, it can be short and sweet. What's happening in this picture? All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3. XXT says hello, everybody in the comments. I say hello and welcome. All right, so here we go. We can see a young girl standing at a busy traffic intersection at night. It's a lively part of the city, and we can see traffic and people moving around in the background. The weather seems cold because everyone is bundled up and wearing warm clothing. All right, now we have an opportunity to do pronunciation. All right, so repeat after me. And if you're doing pronunciation, put some apples in the comments. Okay. I see Mohammed Farak says hello from Syria. All right. All right, so repeat after me and let's do some pronunciation. Here we go. We can see a young girl standing at a busy traffic intersection at night. It's a lively part of the city, and we can see traffic and people moving around in the background. The weather seems cold because everyone is bundled up and wearing warm clothing. Okay, so we just did pronunciation of this summary of this picture. All right, Siri Suparantana Sangu Nurak says, hello, cute teacher and funny. Okay, Leah Huda is putting some apples in the comments, and Garden apples. Yes, apple means you're doing pronunciation with me. So we just did the summary, a brief description of this picture. But we're going to dive even deeper and go into detail. Here we go. Let's move to the setting. All right, so we're talking about the time, the place, the environment. Okay, here we go. The location is a traffic intersection in a busy city on a cold night. The city might be New York. It's nighttime, but the city is very much alive with activity. The night is lit up with lights from the buildings, traffic signals, vehicles, and streetlights. People are everywhere. Okay, so that was the first part of the setting. Let's do pronunciation. Here we go. Repeat after me. I will pause and give you time to speak. Here we go. The location is a traffic intersection in a busy city on a cold night. The city might be New York. It's nighttime, but the city is very much alive with activity. The night is lit up with lights from the buildings, traffic signals, vehicles, and street lights. People are everywhere. Okay, so let's see if we're talking about traffic signals. Let's make sure we understand what traffic signals are. Oh, I see lots of apples in the comments. People are doing pronunciation. Wonderful. So let's take a look and let's see what are traffic signals, right? So traffic signals, well, let's see, these are images. Oh, here we go. Not bad. This is what you see in the intersections when you're driving through town, right? Okay, traffic signals in town. Okay, so when you're driving through, you can see stuff like this, right? And these are just traffic signals. They direct you where to go, how to go, when to go, and stuff like that. Okay, so these are traffic signals. Right, let's go back. Street lights. All right, we can see one street light. I'm going to put the arrow right here, point it over, put it in the front. There we go. So the red arrow right now is pointing to a street light. All right. Sometimes they call it a street lamp, or just a light, a light in the street at night. Well, let's take a look. We'll go to some pictures of street lights or street lamps. Here we go. Let's go street lamps. Okay, so I mean, there are a lot of different kinds of street lamps, but they give light in the darkness. Okay. All right, so people are everywhere. Okay, so let's go to another part of the setting. All right, here we go. The time might be anywhere between 7 p.m. and 1 a.m., depending on the day of the week. All right, so it's difficult to tell if it's a weeknight, if it's a weekend, or what day of the week. Is it a regular work day and everybody's going home, or is it a weekend and everybody's going out to party? But we know that it's dark, right? And if it's in a city like New York, by 7 p.m. it's pretty much dark, right? And by 1 a.m., very dark. So sometime in between there. It's dark, but there is still a lot of traffic and people on the street and sidewalk. So we look around, we can see people there, people here, people all around. Let's see, Leah Huda says traffic signals are very important to arrange the traffic. Right. We don't use traffic signals, or when the power goes out, sometimes there is chaos, right? Things are not orderly anymore. There's a pedestrian signal indicating that people should not cross the street yet. So let's take a look at this one. I'm going to point to the pedestrian signal. And we need to first understand, what is a pedestrian? A pedestrian is someone who's walking, right? They're not in a car, they're walking on the street. So all of the people here, this guy, the lady, they are all pedestrians. They're people that are walking along the sidewalk or maybe along the street. They shouldn't be in the street because that's for the cars. However, we have a pedestrian signal, right? So I'll highlight that here, and we have the arrow pointing to the pedestrian signal. So let's go take a look at some pictures of pedestrian signals. Make sure that we understand what we're talking about. Pedestrian signals. Okay, so they tell you when to walk, when to stop, and not everybody follows them, but they are there for our protection, right? Whether or not we choose to follow them or not. Okay, all right, so let's go back. Let's see. Layla Almeida says, hi, hello. Leah Huda says, teacher, please explain what's Runaway. It's coming. It's coming. I promise I will explain it. And Leah Huda says, in this context, it is coming, I promise. We're going to go step by step. I will not forget. Because the title is The Runaway, right? So it wouldn't make sense if I didn't explain it. Okay. So there's a pedestrian signal indicating. Indicating means to show. It's giving us the information. It's showing us that people should not cross yet because there's traffic. Okay. All right. So we just talked about this. Let's do pronunciation. Here we go. Repeat after me. Show me some apples in the comments if you're participating. Here we go. The time might be anywhere between 7 p.m. and 1 a.m. depending on the day of the week. It's dark, but there is still a lot of traffic and people on the street and sidewalk. There's a pedestrian signal indicating that people should not cross the street yet. Okay, so we just did pronunciation. All right, I see apples in the comments. I want to make one quick note here to make sure we understand. Sidewalk is the space alongside the road, right? This is where people are supposed to walk. They don't always walk there, but that's where they're supposed to because they'll be safe. So let's just we're going to look up sidewalk. All right, so sidewalk is just the area alongside the road, right? Like this lady or this person, they're walking on the sidewalk. So sometimes you'll hear people say, oh, they're walking in the street. Well, if they're actually walking in the street, it's kind of dangerous because that's where the cars are. So most of the time you can say they're walking, in the sidewalk or they're standing on the sidewalk, right? Leah Huda says sidewalk or pavement. The pavement is the hard stuff, the surface, what the road is made of, right? And it could be cement, it could be tar, asphalt, different kind of materials. All right. Oh, Leila Almeida says pedestrian, repeat. All right, let's go back. Everybody repeat after me. Pedestrian. And it's no fun to only do a word all by itself, so repeat after me the phrase. Pedestrian signal. Heck, why don't we just do the whole sentence? Repeat after me. There's a pedestrian signal indicating that people should not cross the street yet. Okay, moving forward. Still with the setting. Oh, there's so much to describe with this picture. Looking at this picture, we can imagine the sounds of a noisy city. Vehicles moving rapidly, people talking excitedly, car horns honking impatiently, and wailing sirens of emergency vehicles. All right, so let's see. Vehicles moving rapidly. This would be like cars and trucks and buses and whatever kind of vehicle on the street. Could even be motorcycles, right? People talking excitedly. But where they're going, they just got off of work. They have plans for tomorrow. There's a party tonight. All of these things. Car horns honking. So, as in get out of my way. Car horns honking impatiently. Impatiently means you have no patience, right? So impatiently means you don't have patience, you don't want to wait, you want to move forward, right? Wailing sirens of emergency vehicles. Wailing is the word in English that we describe the sound or something like that. We could say it's a wailing siren. Leo Huda says, very difficult vocabs today because it's all about street and stuff. What a wonderful opportunity to improve, right? And learn lots of vocabulary and pronunciation, right? So let's see, wailing sirens of emergency vehicles. And let's quick take a look at emergency vehicles to make sure we know what we're talking about. So I would be thinking of like ambulances, police cars, stuff like that. Okay, so here you go. This is kind of a cartoon picture, but you have the ambulance, you have the fire truck but with like an extension ladder, and the police. So those are emergency vehicles, and you know, they come when there are accidents or when people are hurt, something like that. And in a big city like New York, there's so many people, right? So it's common to hear sirens a lot, especially at night when people are coming home and people are interacting with each other and things are happening. All right. Okay, so let's move forward. This is likely a vibrant metropolis which never sleeps. Let's see. Tubagus Ade Rachat Hidayat says, do the people also walk rapidly or slowly on that sidewalk in the picture? Well, we'll get to describing the people in a moment, but to answer your question right now, I would say this lady's not moving, she's standing. This guy here in the black coat and the red hat, I would say he's walking rapidly because his body's kind of blurry. So if someone's moving quickly, if the camera's not, you know, capturing the light quick enough, it will look a little bit fuzzy. I'd say the people in the background are standing around. All right. Let's see. So this is a vibrant metropolis which never sleeps. Well, we have a couple words here. Maybe we should look up. Vibrant. Vibrant is a nice word. Let's go look at it in the dictionary. Make sure we understand it. All right. So vibrant. Put it in. Let's hear the pronunciation. Let's see if you can see everything. You can.
Vibrant. Vibrant.
Vibrant. Okay. So what does vibrant mean? It means full of energy and enthusiasm. And we're using vibrant here to describe the city, all right? And the other word was metropolis. Let's see, I'm going to put it in the right spot. Metropolis. There we go. Metropolis is, here we go, the one that's going to work for our situation is a very large and densely populated industrial and commercial city, all right? Densely populated means there are a lot of people, right? New York City is a huge city, lots of people. And it's, you know, an industrial and commercial city, all right? So this is a metropolis. Let's hear the pronunciation.
Metropolis. Metropolis.
Metropolis. Okay. So in the example, I use the words vibrant metropolis. So this is a lively, this is a city which is alive. People are moving around. Exciting things are going on. You know, action, things are happening. And we can say, which never sleeps. And I've been to New York City, and it's, you know, it's similar to other big cities around the world. There's almost always something open at any hour of the day, right? You can get Chinese food pretty much whenever you want. You can go out and do stuff because that's just what happens in a big city. Okay, so, all right. I think it's time for pronunciation. Repeat after me. Same thing if you're participating in pronunciation. Give me some apples in the comments. Here we go. I will pause so you have time to repeat after me. Looking at this picture, we can imagine the sounds of a noisy city. Vehicles moving rapidly, people talking excitedly, car horns honking impatiently, and wailing sirens of emergency vehicles. This is likely a vibrant metropolis which never sleeps. Okay, so this is pronunciation. Leah Huda says, I assume it's Las Vegas. Ooh, well, with all the lights and stuff, it makes me kind of think a little bit of Las Vegas, except that Las Vegas is much warmer, right? So let's take a look at Las Vegas at night. At night, here we go. I mean, Las Vegas is crazy. I mean, I've been there 2 or 3 times, and it's so much light. There's just so much to look at. It's kind of overwhelming in a way. But when you're driving down the street, and there are lights everywhere, and it's incredible. But it's much warmer, so they don't have to worry about cold, wearing stocking hats or coats. So New York in the winter can be quite cold. New York in the summer is quite nice, but pretty much all year round, Las Vegas is, I would say, nice weather, because I'm from a cold place. I'm from Minnesota, which is a very cold place in the winter. Okay. Leah Huda says, I didn't know that. Thanks. Sure, no problem. Okay, moving forward. More about the setting, more details. The weather is likely quite cold because everyone is wearing warm clothing, right? We can see a stocking hat, we see a coat. This guy has a coat with a hood. People across the street are a little bit blurry, but we can see that they have long coats on. I think this guy has a hat. So it's kind of cold out. It's not a good night to be out wandering around all by yourself. Maybe like this girl? Maybe related to the vocabulary word runaway, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. Most people will only be outside for a short while. If you stay outside for too long, it's just going to get cold and uncomfortable. Everyone wants to get where they're going as quickly as possible. So in cold weather, you still have to, go places, but in cold weather, people, they want to get where they're going so they can get inside and get warm. All right, so let's take a look. Wandering. Wandering around. So the sentence is, it's not a good night to be out wandering around all by yourself. So by yourself means you're alone, right? Wandering around means you don't have a particular destination. You're just kind of out walking around, you're wandering, you're going wherever you feel like. On cold nights, it might not be a good idea because, if you're outside for too long, you can, eventually freeze, but it's uncomfortable and you can get sick and all that stuff. Okay, I think it's time for pronunciation. Leah Huda says going here and there. Sure. You don't have a specific destination. You're just kind of going here, you're going there, you're wandering around. Sure. All right, repeat after me. Here we go. The weather is likely quite cold because everyone is wearing warm clothing. It's not a good night to be out wandering around all by yourself. Most people will only be outside for a short while. Everyone wants to get where they're going as quickly as possible. Okay, and I want to mention, in this sentence, most people will only be outside for a short while. We could say for a short time, for just a moment, or for just long enough to get to their destination, right? All right, lots of apples in the comments. Practicing the pronunciation. And in case you're wondering, my accent is American, all right? And I'm from the Midwest in the United States, so my accent is about as regular as it comes. Okay, so we just finished the setting, describing the time, the location, the environment. Now let's move forward to another part. Okay, let's do the action, the interesting part. So when we talk about the setting, we kind of set the scene, right? We draw a picture in our mind of what we're seeing, especially if we're trying to explain it or describe it to someone. Now we're going to talk about the action. This would be the movement, the people, things that are happening. All right, here we go. The woman in the picture is facing away and has her back toward us. All right. So facing away means she's looking in the other direction. We can't, we can't see her eyes. We can't see her nose. We can't see her mouth. She's facing away, right? And we could say her back is toward us. So we can look and we see her back, right? She is wearing a stocking hat, a brown coat, and a turquoise scarf. All right. So let's take a look. Let's put the arrows. We have the stocking hat. Sometimes they will say a winter cap, stocking hat, but it's nice and thick, right? And it probably pulls down, it covers your ears and keeps you warm in the winter. All right, she has a brown coat on, right? We can see it here, we can see it there. I don't know how thick the coat is, but it's a brown coat, right? I would imagine she has other layers underneath, maybe a sweater or some thick clothing underneath. Let's see, and a turquoise scarf. All right, this would be the scarf. And let's take a look at turquoise. Let's go back here, look at some pictures at the color turquoise. Turquoise. All right, so this is the color turquoise. So let's see if we say a turquoise scarf, what happens? Okay, so in the picture, I would say it kind of looks like this one, right? This color. I don't know what the front looks like, but the color looks pretty good. So this is turquoise. It's somewhere between like a blue and a green. I don't know, sometimes maybe they say like an aqua marine blue, or I don't know. I'm not a painter. Okay, let's go back. So let's move this back over here and let's go to the next part. On her back is a regular size black backpack with silver zippers. Leo Huda says, I think it's very close to blue. Sure. So turquoise is probably a different shade of blue, we could say. All right, so she has a black backpack on, and we can describe the zippers. We can say it's a regular sized backpack, right? So it's not an oversized backpack. If I'm talking about an oversized backpack, I would be thinking something like this. Oversized backpack. Well, this one, yeah, that's like huge. I haven't ever seen one that big. Let's jump away. There's another one in there. You could fit your family in there. Very interesting. So this would be like a gigantic backpack, but oversized. It means like big, right? I would say she has a regular sized backpack. There are also like mini backpacks. That's smaller. All right. Garden says, what does bundle up mean? Bundle up means to put on a lot of warm clothing, right? So you bundle up. And it's common to say that you bundle up your kids before they go out to play. So if it's cold outside, you make sure your kid has a hat on, the coat, maybe a scarf, that the coat is closed all the way up. They have gloves. So bundle up means to, let's see if we have a picture. Bundled up kids. Okay. So these kids right here, you could say they're bundled up. They have their hats, they have their hoods, they have their mittens, they have their scarves, they have their thick coats. They are bundled up. They are dressed for cold weather, right? They're bundled up, right? Okay. Let's see. Leo Huda says, wow, what a gigantic backpack. And Tubagus says, oh my goodness, I might fall down after wearing that oversized backpack, sir. I agree. Right. Okay, so in this picture, we can see her backpack, which is, I don't know if there's some leg here. My voice is kind of, Okay, so the zippers are silver, right? We can see the zippers come together right here, and it's silver. So it's a black backpack with silver zippers. All right. Okay, let's move forward. We can only see her body from the waist up, right? So your waist is, let's take a look. What is your waist? So your waist is your midsection, right? So this is your waist, the section around your middle, right? Your abdomen. Okay, so we can only see her from her waist up, so we don't know what kind of pants she's wearing or stuff like that. Okay, here we go. All right, so it's time for some pronunciation. Okay, here we go. Repeat after me. The woman in the picture is facing away and has her back toward us. She is wearing a stocking hat, a brown coat, and a turquoise scarf. On her back is a regular size black backpack with silver zippers. We can only see her body from the waist up. Okay, all right, so we did pronunciation. Let's move in and we'll do some more action. Here we go. The woman's head is turned slightly to the right, and we can see a small section of her right cheek. All right, so let's take a look. If we point the arrow, we can see that her head is slightly turned, just a little bit to the side, right? So that means we can see part of her right cheek, right? So just a little bit of the section right there, and some of her hair, I guess. But we can't tell her expression, and we don't know what she's thinking, stuff like that, right? Her arms might be hanging down her sides or bent at the elbows with her hands in her pockets. All right, so let's take a look at arms hanging down side, arms hanging down the sides. Let's see. No, that's not quite right. Arms hanging down to the side, right? Okay, I suppose that works. I don't know what this is. But this girl right here, we can say her arms are hanging down to the sides, right? So they're just hanging straight down. Kind of a little bit in front, but hanging down straight. And it's also possible that the girl has her hands in her pockets. All right? Because if you have your hands in your pocket, then you have to bend your elbows, right? Let's see. So like this lady has her hands in her pockets. Okay? So let's see. From this point of view, we can't quite tell if she has her arms hanging straight down or if they're bent and she has her hands in her pockets. I don't know. Different possibilities. It's possible, but unknown whether she's wearing gloves or mittens. Okay? And it's good to know the difference between gloves and mittens, right? So let's take a look. I've used both in the winter, and if it's really cold, I'll tell you I prefer mittens. But first, let's take a look at, we'll put winter gloves. All right, so gloves, you know, there's an individual covering for each finger. And the main difference for mittens is that it covers your whole thing, right? Sometimes they have kind of a mix where it's a mitten and a glove inside, but these are just mittens. So there's a hole for the thumb or a place for the thumb, but here your fingers stay together, so it's much warmer, right? So if it's really cold out, I usually prefer to wear mittens because your hands stay warmer. It's harder to grab things, right? You have to pull off your mitten to grab things sometimes, but much warmer for the longer term. All right. Okay, just like that, it's time for pronunciation. Repeat after me. Here we go. The woman's head is turned slightly to the right, and we can see a small section of her right cheek. Her arms might be hanging down her sides or bent at the elbows with her hands in her pockets. It's possible, but unknown, whether she's wearing gloves or mittens. Okay, when we say something is unknown, it is not known, right? We don't know. We don't have the information. We're not sure what's actually happening. Let's see, in the comment says, Leah Huda says, just like the kitchen mittens. Aha! Very similar. Let's take a look. We'll put in kitchen mittens are similar. And the ones, sometimes these are called oven mitts. Let's see, oven mitts. Oven mittens. There you go, oven mitts. And they just protect your hand from the hot, right? The hot pot or the burning stove or something like that. So it's similar. So they're like mittens, but with a specific purpose. All right, let's go back. Okay, let's see. Let's move forward. More action. We're describing the action. The woman appears to be looking at something or someone in or around the intersection. Okay, so appears means we just kind of have an idea what's going on, but we're not completely sure. She's looking at something or someone in or around the intersection. So the intersection is going to be over here because the cars there are lined up, and the intersection is to her right. We can't see the full intersection, but we can imagine it's over there. So something she's looking at, right? Since she has to wait for the pedestrian signal to change, she has a few moments to look at whatever caught her eye. All right. Let's see, my little English page says, hello everyone, welcome. Right? So we already talked about what is a pedestrian signal. It's right here. I will put the arrow on it one more time. The pedestrian signal here is that orange thing right there. It kind of looks like an oven mitt, right? And it's just like a hand saying stop. Don't walk. Because if you do, you know, there's traffic coming by. Okay, so she has to wait for a moment for this pedestrian signal to change. Because of this, she has a few moments to look around. All right, and so here's a nice phrase to know. Caught her eye, right? So if we talk about caught, you catch something, right? You catch the mouse, you catch the dog, you catch the ball maybe. But here the phrase is caught her eye. So something popped up that made her want to look at it. And we could say it caught her eye. And it could be, if it was a guy, it caught his eye. If it was a group of people, we could say it caught their eye. But it's something that attracts our attention and we want to look at it. It catches our eye. Very, very common phrase. All right, so something in the intersection caught her eye and she wants to look at it. She is absorbing the sights and sounds of the city. Absorbing, Think of like a sponge. Let's see if I can find a sponge. It's very common to talk about a sponge when we're talking about absorbing something. Maybe we'll say a kitchen sponge. Right? And you use it to wash things, but if you squeeze it in the water, it soaks up the water, right? So we could say, let's say we'll do sponge absorbing water. Because the word right now we're talking about is absorbing, right? So just like a sponge can absorb water, become full of water, people can absorb what's around them, what they're looking at, right? You can absorb the sights, things you see, and you can absorb the sounds. You're taking in all the information. All right. Time for pronunciation. Repeat after me. Same thing. Apples in the comments if you are participating. Here we go. The woman appears to be looking at something or someone in or around the intersection. Since she has to wait for the pedestrian signal to change, she has a few moments to look at whatever caught her eye. She is absorbing the sights and sounds of the city. All right, in the comments, let's see. Tubagus Ade Rachwat Hidayat says she might want to cross the road after the pedestrian signal said you may walk. Right, after the signal changes, when it switches to probably a green, what do they put, a thumbs up, something like that? Right, she might want to wait or she might get hit by a car, right? Okay, moving forward, more describing, here we go. Almost directly in front of the woman, there is a man wearing a red hat and a long black coat walking down the street. All right, so we are talking about this guy right here, right? So he has a red hat. We'll point at the red hat. And he has a long black coat. And it looks like the coat goes down below, close to his knees or down by his thighs. So it's probably a great coat for winter, and it kind of looks like it might be leather. So if it's leather, it probably blocks the wind and keeps him very, very warm. On the other side of the man, there is a black sedan passing through the intersection, moving from right to left. Okay, so the sedan is a car, and we're talking about, see this car right here, you can call it a sedan, right? It's a type of vehicle, and it's not specific to a brand, or a sedan is more like the size of the car and how it's laid out. Let's see. We'll go to some images, and I'm going to type in a sedan and see what it shows us. Okay, so it's common for a sedan to have 4 doors, and it's kind of maybe like a family car or just like a nice car. If you rent a car, it's very common that they would give you like a sedan or something like this. So, okay. So it's kind of like a class of vehicle. I mean, you can have hatchbacks. Just for an example, hatchback. Hatchback are these kind of cars where they have that kind of special trunk in the back, I guess, kind of an extra 5th door that opens like that. All right, so a sedan is just a kind of class of vehicle. All right, let's see. And this car is moving through the intersection, all right? So let's just make sure we understand what is a traffic intersection. Right, we'll put an intersection. There we go. So you have, a traffic intersection. And in our picture, the car is moving through from right to left. So it's going to be passing, and eventually it's starting over here and it's driving through. And it just came through the intersection. A white line is painted on the street. All right, there are probably a lot of white lines, but this is the one that we can see right here, right? And that white line is going to be an indicator for the traffic, for the cars, the trucks, the buses. And what it does is it divides up the intersection, right? It lets people to know if they're in or out of the intersection. Okay, all right. Let's see. Leah Huda says the man is wearing sneakers too. Right, very good. They have black and white sneakers, maybe, or tennis shoes. Sport shoes, we could also say. Okay, pronunciation time. Repeat after me, and I will pause and give you time to repeat. Here we go. Almost directly in front of the woman, there is a man wearing a red hat and a long black coat walking down the street. On the other side of the man, there is a black sedan passing through the intersection, moving from right to left. A white line is painted on the street. Okay. So we just did pronunciation. Let's see in the comments. Siris Parantana says, thank you so much. Now I have to go. Thank you for joining. You're welcome to come back anytime. All right, lots of apples. That means people are doing the pronunciation. All right, let's keep going. Describing the situation. Who knew that there's so many details when we're describing a picture like this? It's wonderful. Pictures are a great way to build our vocabulary and our skills at describing things. We can talk about things we see. Here we go. On the other side of the street, there is a large group of people standing and talking with each other. All right, so we would be talking about the other side of the street, which means this is the street in front of the woman. We would cross the street and we would go over here, or maybe over here, where there's a group of people, right? I don't know if they're outside a restaurant or if they're going somewhere, but they're standing and they're talking with each other. They're chatting, I don't know, whatever's happening in their life, they're talking about it. We can see many cars, trucks, and taxis in the street trying to get to their destinations. All right, so if we look over here, we can see there's a big truck, there's probably a yellow taxi, there's this black sedan in front, and I imagine there's a lot of traffic moving around. And they're trying to get to their destination. Destination is the place that you're traveling to, right? So if you're going to take a trip to Las Vegas, then your destination is Las Vegas. It's where you're going. Traffic is busy, and it's possible that there might be a temporary traffic jam. All right, traffic jam. Woo, so exciting and frustrating. I imagine everyone here has probably been in a traffic jam at some point. Everywhere in the world, there are traffic jams. So it's just when there are so many cars together that it either moves very slowly or doesn't move at all. Now this one's interesting. Now this is complete chaos. No one's moving anywhere. And it's interesting. Yeah. Look at this intersection. I'm gonna be waiting for a long time. Alright, so a traffic jam just means packed with cars. Impossible to move or moving really slowly. It's a good time to have an audiobook. Okay. Alright, here we are. Let's do pronunciation. Repeat after me. Let's see. Layla Almeida says, and one ambulance. Yes, it's possible. It's a little bit blurry, but it could be an ambulance. It could also be maybe like an armored truck, like a Brinks truck, where they transport money and stuff. I don't know. Let's see. Leo Huda says, what's the difference between taxi and cab? Well, let's take a look at pictures and see what shows up when we put in taxi and cab. Let's see. Taxi. Let's say taxi. Taxi. Yeah, we'll just put taxi. Okay. So taxi is easy. They're usually, well, it's common that they're yellow. They don't like Uber very much. Because Uber steals their business, and in my opinion, Uber often offers a superior, a better price at a better quality and nicer conditions. But okay, so that's a taxi, right? Let's put in a cab. Very similar. And the reason is because it's common or fairly common to say a taxi cab. So you can say it all together or you can say it apart. All right, so a taxi cab is like the full word, but people will just say taxi or they'll say cab. All right, maybe it's more common for taxi because that's what you see on top, taxi, and that's what they usually put on the car. All right, let's see. Tubagus says it's crowded car to wait the traffic light switches to green light. That's right. That's right. All right, let's go back to the picture. Yes, so the traffic intersection is very busy. They're waiting for the light to change to green so they can go and move forward. All right, let's see. I think it was time for pronunciation, right? Okay, repeat after me. On the other side of the street, there is a large group of people standing and talking with each other. We can see many cars, trucks, and taxis in the street trying to get to their destinations. traffic is busy, and it's possible that there might be a temporary traffic jam. Okay, let's make sure we understand what temporary means. It means just for a moment. Now, temporary could be a few minutes, maybe half an hour, I don't know, it depends. But it means that it's not long term. Temporary is like short term, like quite very short term, not for a long time. Right? But when you're in the traffic jam, it feels like forever, especially if you're in a hurry, right? I'm stuck in traffic again. So 5 minutes feels like, the time feels like it passes slowly. Been there for 5 minutes, it feels like 10 or 15 minutes. All right, let's see. Vera Kalugina says in Thailand, every day of the week has its special color. Okay. All right. And let's see. Leah Huda says opposite of permanently. Yes, temporary would be the opposite of permanently. So maybe they're a temporary hire. It's a temporary person that's going to work there. That's not a permanent position. Yes, yes. Okay, so we just described the action. Let's take a look at the story. Now this is where I use my imagination to put everything together. We can look at the picture, but I find it more interesting if we have a story behind the picture and what's happening. So here we go. Take a look. The girl with the backpack is Sally. She's 13 years old and she's a runaway. All right, I think it was Leah Huda who asked, what is a runaway? Okay, so here it is a noun. It's a thing. It's a person. She's a runaway. All right, so let's go straight to the dictionary and make sure you guys get a good understanding and definition of what is a runaway. Here we go. Let's hear the pronunciation.
Runaway.
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 Runaway. Okay, here it is. A person who has run away, especially from their family or an institution. Okay, so maybe there's an orphan, a child who doesn't have a family, and they live in an orphanage, which is like a building or an organization for kids that don't have a home, and they run away. They don't want to stay, so they escape. So some synonyms: fugitive. Well, fugitive is kind of strong because fugitive means that you've probably broken the law and the police are trying to catch you. Escapee, refugee, truant, absconder. Yeah. Oh, here we go. A 16-year-old runaway, right? So it's the kid who ran away from home and they don't want to be at home anymore. Okay. So here it's all together. It's runaway. It's one word because that's the person. We're describing it. If we put run away and we put like this with a space in between, we are describing the action. The person is running away or they will run away, something like that. All right, let's go back. She is 13 years old and she's a runaway. She has left her home and escaped and doesn't plan to go back. Earlier that night, her family had salmon for dinner. Let's take a look if we can find a salmon dinner. Let's look for pictures. First, we'll look at the fish. Personally, I like salmon. I think it's delicious. Ooh, let's look at the fish first. Okay, so this is a salmon. All right, I think it's a wonderful fish. Now let's put in salmon dinner. Oh, I'm getting hungry. I'm going to have to eat after we finish this lesson. Oh boy. So nice. Okay, I need to stay focused here. All right. So, earlier that night, her family had salmon for dinner. Sally absolutely hates salmon. This is the setting for some nice drama. Okay, so we could just say Sally hates salmon, but when we put in there absolutely, it's like she hates it, but then she's like, she really hates it. Absolutely hates salmon. You can also do it in the opposite direction. You could say Sally absolutely loves salmon, or she absolutely loves sardines, or loves something. But when we put absolutely in front of it, it's like it raises it to the maximum level. Let's see, Leah Huda says, is runaway, does it mean a trip sometime? It's possible. Let's see. I think they had multiple definitions for runaway. Let's see. Well, an animal or vehicle that is running out of control. Alright. Denoting something happening or done quickly, easily, or uncontrollably. It's kind of a trip, right? But it's a trip probably not under good conditions because you're leaving because you feel that you're forced to leave. You don't want to stay around anymore. Alright? Okay, so Sally absolutely hates salmon. When her father mentioned salmon-flavored ice cream for dessert, Sally went berserk. Okay, a few things here. When her father mentioned, they were at the dinner table and he said, "Oh, did you get that new salmon-flavored ice cream? I'm so excited. We're going to have it for dessert tonight." Sally's like, I hate salmon. And she went berserk. What does berserk mean? I think it's worth looking for in the dictionary. Here we go. Berserk. Interesting word.
Berserk. Berserk.
Berserk. Okay, it means out of control with anger or excitement, wild or frenzied. So we're out of control. It's like you're going crazy. You lose your ability to control your emotions. So that is berserk. If someone goes berserk, you may want to step away or move back because they're getting kind of wild and they can't control themselves. Alright, so when her father mentioned salmon-flavored ice cream for dessert, Sally went berserk. She went crazy. Alright, time for pronunciation. Here we go. Repeat after me. The girl with the backpack is Sally. She's 13 years old and she's a runaway. Earlier that night, her family had salmon for dinner. Sally absolutely hates salmon. When her father mentioned salmon-flavored ice cream for dessert, Sally went berserk. Okay, so that's pronunciation. Let's dive deeper into the story. Sally jumped up from the table, ran to her room, and grabbed her lucky backpack. I assume that it's this backpack that she's wearing. And lucky, something that gives you good fortune. Maybe something that makes you feel good. I'm gonna take a drink of water, excuse me. Delicious. Okay, so it could be a lucky pencil, it could be a lucky glove, a lucky car, I don't know. Something that you like and you enjoy. And you think it brings you luck or it brings you good fortune. She made up her mind to run away and never come back. When we say made up her mind, or he made up his mind, or they made up their mind, it's just a long way to say decide. We could just say she decided to run away, but we can also say she made up her mind, right? And this would be a nice idiom, right? It just means to decide, to choose to do something. So she made up her mind to run away. So the action is run away, and the person is a runaway. The words together. And never come back. Sally packed only the most essential supplies. A bag of Cheetos, 2 rolls of toilet paper, and a pair of cool sunglasses. Well, let's see. Essential means important. what you need, what is the most important. So the most essential supplies. And supplies are things that will help you survive, right? Things that will make you be able to live and thrive out wherever you're going. So she took with her a bag of Cheetos. Let's see. What is a bag of Cheetos? All right, here we go. Goodbye, salmon dinner. Hello, a bag of Cheetos. Oh yeah, I imagine they have Cheetos pretty much everywhere in the world. I'm in Indonesia, they have Cheetos here. I think they're originally from the US. And it's junk food. They taste nice. They have fake cheese and a lot of things in there, but those are Cheetos. Alright, 2 rolls of toilet paper. So she stuffed a bag of Cheetos in her backpack and then 2 rolls of toilet paper. So when we say rolls of toilet paper, what are we talking about? We are talking about... There you go. Rolls of toilet paper. Leah Huda says, yummy, my favorite. I assume you're talking about the Cheetos and not the toilet paper. So these are rolls of toilet paper. Okay. Alright. And, oh, they're in this way because they fit well on the toilet paper holder. Alright, the toilet paper holder is this little thing here, right? It's where you can put the toilet paper roll. So this is called the toilet paper holder. Alright. Okay, so she has her Cheetos, 2 bags, or 2 rolls of toilet paper, and a pair of cool sunglasses. Let's take a look what pops up when we put in cool sunglasses. Could be a lot. Alright. Okay. Alright, so we got cool sunglasses. As in like awesome, not like temperature, but like I think it's great, it's wonderful, it's neat, they're cool. Alright, let's see. In the comments, Tubagus says, yes, in Indonesia, every market sells that Cheetos as snacks, sir. Yes, I am in Indonesia right now, and I see them all around. Lila Almeida says, never come back. Never come back. Never come back just means to not return. Her plan is to not return to this place. Okay. It's time for pronunciation. Right, repeat after me and show me some apples. Sally jumped up from the table, ran to her room, and grabbed her lucky backpack. Let's quick stop for a moment. I see a question that says, Dogukan Aaron says, what does it mean grabbed? Well, let's see. You guys can see I have my bottle in front of me, and if I grab it, I go like this. Right? You take your hand and you grip it, you grab it, you take it with your hand and you squeeze it. Grab means catch. It's a little bit different. If someone throws a ball to you, you catch it, which means that it goes into your hand and you hold it there. But at the same time, you squeeze, right? So you are grabbing, right? So maybe if you're on... let's take a look here. See if I can explain grab. Let's say grabbing the pole. How about that? Okay, so you're grabbing it. You're squeezing, right? You're squeezing so you can pull or push or do whatever you need to do, right? Catch just means that something came to you and you caught it. You're holding it. So you catch the ball. So you catch it, you're holding it, and you're pressing it between your hands or squeezing it in one hand. Grab something is kind of more of a... It could be a violent action, but you use your hand with force to squeeze something, and you want to use it, right? It can also mean to just take something. So in this context, she grabbed her lucky backpack. So she probably took her hand and touched it and squeezed it so she was able to pick it up. But you can also say, you know, I went home and I grabbed my backpack. I got it. I picked it up. I went home to bring it with me. Something like that. Layla Almeida says the title for the story is Salmon, Bad Idea for Sally to Sally. Okay. Vera Kalugina says grab to take very quickly. It's possible, yes, depending on the situation. But the idea is that you are squeezing something and you keep holding it. You want to take it with you, right? She made up her mind to run away and never come back. So she decided to never return. Made up her mind means to decide, to choose. And never come back means never return. Sally, oh shoot, we're doing pronunciation, aren't we? I get talking so much. Okay, repeat after me. She made up her mind to run away and never come back. Sally packed only the most essential supplies. A bag of Cheetos, 2 rolls of toilet paper, and a pair of cool sunglasses. Okay, so that was pronunciation for that section. Here we go. We're going to learn a little bit more. Now, 3 hours later, Sally is having second thoughts. All right, so second thoughts means you are starting to doubt something, right? Something doesn't seem like a good decision anymore. You're having second thoughts. Your first thoughts were, let's do it, let's go forward. But now you're having second thoughts and you're like, you're hesitating, you're vacillating, which is an uncommon word, but you're hesitating, you're like, you're doubting, should I do it? A homeless guy stole her Cheetos and toilet paper. Her sunglasses are too dark to wear at night, and she just saw her school principal walking on the other side of the intersection. All right. Oh, this sentence is packed with stuff. Okay, first off, a homeless guy. I imagine if you've been to a big city, you have probably seen a homeless guy. All right, let's see. So we'll put in homeless guy. Okay, so this would be like a homeless guy. This might be a crazy homeless guy. But a homeless just means you are without a home. Oh, look at that one. My father was killed by ninjas. Need money for karate lessons. I don't have a response for that. Okay, so if it's a homeless guy, it's someone who lives on the streets, as in they don't have a home. And it's actually quite serious and kind of sad. All right. So, a homeless guy took her Cheetos and toilet paper. We don't know what happened. If he grabbed her backpack and grabbed the Cheetos and toilet paper, run away, we don't know. Her sunglasses are too dark to wear at night. I always kind of think it's weird when people wear sunglasses at night. I think, well, when I was a police officer, if people were wearing sunglasses at nighttime, I would ask them to take them off. Because when people wear sunglasses, especially at night, it's like you get the feeling, the vibe that they're trying to hide something because they don't want you to see their eyes. And when we can see people's eyes, we can get a lot of information, their feelings, their expressions, what they're looking at. You know, are they looking around like this, suspicious, stuff like that. Okay. So her sunglasses are too dark to wear at night, and she just saw her school principal walking on the other side of the intersection. So Sally is still in school, and she saw her principal. So let's take a look. Make sure we all have a similar idea what it means to be a school principal. All right, goodbye, homeless guy. Hello, school principal. Okay, So it can be a man, it can be a woman, but it needs to be a person with qualifications for running a school, right? Because they're kind of in charge of everything. They're like the top dog, the boss, right? So in our situation, Sally was looking over at the intersection, and on the other side she saw her principal. Sally is cold, hungry, and depressed. All right. Let's see. Vera Kalugina says intersection. Well, the best way to tell you what it is to show you. I think we looked it up before. So here is an intersection. We're talking about traffic, right? Where two roads come together and they intersect. So one road goes this way, another road goes this way, and they intersect. And intersections are a very common place for, accidents and problems, because you have so many different flows of cars and people and stuff coming together. All right, so that is intersection. Sally is cold, hungry, and depressed. Depressed means you're feeling down, right? Let's see if we can find a picture which would help us to understand the emotion of depressed. We'll put in depressed person. All right, depressed. Let's see. Vera Kalugina says intersection, a crossroad. Similar, very similar, right? Because a crossroad has two roads going like this. But if you have an intersection, when I hear intersection, it could be like a crossroad, but intersection could also be with all the lights and all the pedestrian signals and the traffic signals and all of that stuff. Okay, so this is depressed. No fun. You feel down, you feel dark, you feel low energy, and you're falling off the screen. Right? So the opposite of depressed would probably be like overjoyed, joyful, happy, in a good mood with high energy. All right. I see depressed, melancholic. Okay, sure. Feeling down, feeling low, and just going down. Okay. Right, it's time for pronunciation. Repeat after me. Here we go. Now, 3 hours later, Sally is having second thoughts. A homeless guy stole her Cheetos and toilet paper. Her sunglasses are too dark to wear at night, and she just saw her school principal walking on the other side of the intersection. Sally is cold, hungry, and depressed. Okay, I know this one was a long sentence, kind of an advanced sentence, because there are so many different parts stuck in one, so many different concepts and ideas, but it's good practice. All right, ooh, I see apples in the comments. Wonderful. Ooh, we're getting to the last section of the story, and then we'll be on the quiz. All right, here we go. In 2 minutes, Sally will turn around and walk home. All right, and turn around means that she's facing that way. In a moment, she will be facing towards us. She's going to turn around. She's going to change directions. She's going to do a 180. Let's take a look. What does do a 180 mean? So if we're saying do a 180, we're talking about degrees, right? Like in math, 360 degrees is the complete circle. A 180 means to switch directions. Like do a U-turn, go in the opposite direction. All right, so it's common to say we need to do a 180. We need to turn around. We need to go back. All right, so Sally will turn around and walk home. Layla Almeida says, long sentence. Yes, it was. And it's good. It pushes us. Pushes our brain. All right. She'll tell her parents she was visiting a friend. Sally will replenish her Cheetos and toilet paper supply. Okay, so back to the Cheetos and toilet paper supply that she lost. Because remember we talked about the homeless guy stole them? Alright, replenish. Woo, good word. When we're talking about things, supplies, maybe even in a store when the shelf is empty, people will replenish. They will put more items on. So if you replenish something, you refill the supply. You fill it up again. Let's take a look in the dictionary because the dictionary is awesome. Replenish. Let's take a look.
Replenish. Replenish.
Replenish. Well, to fill something up again, right? He replenished Justin's glass with mineral water. Maybe Justin was really thirsty. He drank it all, and then they replenished it. They put more water in. All right? That is replenish. Very useful word. Refill. Put more. Fill up again. She wants to be prepared for the next time dinner sucks, and she decides to run away. Okay, now this is nice and informal. And most of the time when we talk, we're talking in an informal way. So I wouldn't maybe use this in a formal business context. All right? She wants to be prepared for the next time dinner sucks. So if something sucks, it's low quality, we don't like it, it makes us upset, and we're just like, I don't like it. So when she thinks that dinner sucks, like remember she doesn't like to eat salmon? So she's like, this sucks, I don't like it. So it's very common, especially for, I would say the younger generation, but I've also heard older people, my age, older, younger, it's very common to say it sucks, right? It's just bad. Thumbs down. How was the movie? Oh, it sucked. It was horrible. It sucks. It was just bad. Okay, so very useful informal phrase that something sucks. Okay, all right. Now it's time for bed. So she had a little adventure. Okay, time for pronunciation. Shorter sentences this time, but good vocabulary. Here we go. Repeat after me. In 2 minutes, Sally will turn around and walk home. She'll tell her parents she was visiting a friend. Sally will replenish her Cheetos and toilet paper supply. She wants to be prepared for the next time dinner sucks, and she decides to run away. Now it's time for bed. Alright, I'll make a quick note, but I imagine you guys understand it's time for bed. It's time to go to sleep. It's time to go beddy bye. It's time to sleep. Okay, so we did a lot so far. We did the summary. We did the setting in a whole bunch of parts. We did the action. Oh, yes, we did. And we did the story. Okay, so since we made it through everything, guess what time it is? Let's do it. It's time for a quiz. Aha! I got my glasses. Stretch. I'm ready to go. Are you guys ready? Let's do a quiz. All right. Question number 1. How do we know the weather in the picture is cold? A. Everyone is shivering. B. Everyone is intoxicated. C. Everyone has a scarf. D. Everyone has warm clothing. Okay, what do you think? Okay, I hope you guys are enjoying the music. All right, let's take a look. How do we know the weather in the picture is cold? Everyone has warm clothing, right? So we looked around at the different people. They had thick coats. There's a hat, stocking hat. So that is the best answer. Let's take a look at the wrong answers. Everyone is shivering. What does shivering mean? It's a useful word in the winter time or when you're cold. Let's take a look. And I think pictures are a great way to explain things. So I'm going to show you what is shivering. It means to shake from the cold. I'm shivering. And if you're shivering, it's like your body's way. It's a natural reaction to try to heat up your body. So your body will start to shiver. And if you stay out for too long, then it can become dangerous. But shivering just means to shake from the cold. Okay? And that answer didn't work because we had no information about that one. Right? Everyone is intoxicated. No, we didn't have any information about that. And intoxicated, pictures are wonderful. So we'll say intoxicated person. They're drunk, right? They've been drinking too much wine, beer, alcohol, cocktails, whatever. They're intoxicated, right? So that's what intoxicated means. And doesn't work. We didn't have any information about that. Everyone has a scarf. Well, we don't know that either. I think the girl, she had a scarf around her neck, right, to keep her warm. But the best answer we can be sure of is that everyone has warm clothing. Okay, so D is the best answer. Question number 2. What can we use to know if it's safe to cross a street? A pedestrian walkway. B, a pedestrian stop sign. C, a pedestrian signal. Or D, a pedestrian indicator. All right, what do you think? Okay, what can we use to know if it's safe to cross a street? Well, we can use, excuse me, a pedestrian signal, right? We talked about that a few times in the lesson. All right, so let's take a look at the wrong answers. A pedestrian stop sign. That doesn't really work because you don't really hear that phrase all that often or at all. And a stop sign is this big red thing that says stop. It's a good traffic device, but it's not what we're looking for. Because it doesn't tell us if it's safe to cross the street, right? It just says stop. Pedestrian walkway. No, that doesn't work. That's just the place where the pedestrians will walk. And if we look at a picture, let's see. Pedestrian walkway would be something like this, right? It could be a sidewalk. It could be a side spot along the road or just a place for people to walk, right? That's a pedestrian walkway. And a pedestrian indicator? No. Indicator is just something that shows you that something else is happening, right? Like when you turn on the turn signals in your car, the light flashes to let you know that someone is turning. So let's take a look. This is an example of an indicator. Say turn signal. Sometimes they'll say turn signal or they'll say turn indicator. And it's just showing other people what you're going to do, right? So indicator means to indicate, to show intention, what you're going to be doing. All right, so a pedestrian indicator sounds nice, but we have something better. a pedestrian signal. Okay, question number 3. Which of the following is not a normal sound in a city? A. Babies roaring loudly. B. Car horns honking. C. People talking excitedly. D. Noisy wailing sirens. Okay, what do you think? Okay, so which of the following is not a normal sound in a city? A. Babies roaring loudly. When we hear the word roaring, we usually don't think of babies. We think of maybe roaring lions, right? Roaring lions. Because roaring means to go roar, right? And babies will maybe scream, yell, cry, and whine and moan and groan, but they don't roar. Roar is something for a big, powerful animal. Maybe even a bear, right? Roar. So we don't hear babies roaring. So that one doesn't make sense. All right. Oh, Layla Almeida says, thank you, teacher. I have to go. All right. You're welcome. And this will be recorded so you can watch the end later if you want. Okay, so which of the following is not a normal sound? Babies roaring loudly. All of the others are normal sounds. Car horns honking. People talking excitedly. Yes. And noisy wailing sirens. Yes. Okay. All right. Let's go to question number 4. Why did Sally pack Cheetos and toilet paper for running away? A. She's in love and crazy. B. She's a rocket scientist. C. She's young and immature. Or D. She likes wild adventures. What do you think? Okay, so I see multiple different answers on this one. Here we go. Why did Sally pack Cheetos and toilet paper for running away? Well, she's young and immature. She was, I think, 13 years old, right? So immature means you're not mature yet, right? You don't have the ability to make wise decisions all the time. You just don't have the experience yet. You're still learning, right? So Sally is young and immature. So the stuff that she brought with her to run away, toilet paper, well, toilet paper is not too bad, but Cheetos and sunglasses, Vera Kalugina says, to tell the truth, none of them. Well, we have to choose an answer which fits the best, and I'm going with C. She's young and immature. A says she's in love and crazy. We didn't get any information about that. It's possible, but we didn't get any information about that, so that one doesn't work. She's a rocket scientist. Well, if you call someone a rocket scientist, even if they are not a rocket scientist, it's a way to say that someone is really intelligent, really smart. So if you say, wow, he's like a rocket scientist, they're really smart. It's kind of it's a nice compliment because you think someone is super intelligent. But her decision to take Cheetos and toilet paper, I wouldn't say that's like a rocket scientist or super intelligent decision. She likes wild adventures. Okay. She got one because the homeless guy stole her Cheetos and toilet paper. But I think the answer which explains it best is she's young and immature. Right. Question number 5. Here we go. What would the principal do if he saw Sally out alone this late at night? A. Buy her an alcoholic drink. B. Get in contact with her parents. C. Ignore her and try not to be seen. D. Run up and down the street. What do you think? Okay, so what would the principal do if he saw Sally out alone this late at night? Okay, so in a realistic world, he would get in contact with her parents. And I guess we're assuming the principal is a guy, it could be a woman, but either way, the principal will get in contact with her parents. So get in contact means to call or send them a message, say, hey, your kid's walking out here late by herself and it doesn't seem right, right? Let's take a look at the wrong answers. Buy her an alcoholic drink? Suppose it's possible with some strange people, but the girl is 13 and this is not the right situation for an alcoholic drink. All right? Ignore her and try not to be seen. Well, I kind of like this answer because maybe the principal is crazy or he's doing something he doesn't want the students or teachers to know about. And he might be like, you didn't see me. But if he's a responsible person and principal, he probably wants to make sure that the student gets home safely. All right, run up and down the street. I don't know. I suppose it's possible in some scenario, but that's not very likely because there's no reason for him to run up and down the street. He might be like, "Hey, Sally, are you okay? Why are you out here all alone by yourself? Are you cold? Do you need something to eat?" Something like that. So the best answer is B, get in contact with her parents. Vera Kalugina says, I would propose my help. Right, to help out. Leah Huda says, maybe C. I could think of a possible situation where that would work. But we're going to pretend that the principal is a responsible person and cares about the students. Okay, so that was question number 5, and that means, cha-ching, we finished the quiz. Woo! Alright, so this lesson went much longer than I expected, but I think it was good because we did a lot of describing, a lot of vocabulary, a lot of phrases. We did a lot this time. Let's see, we did the summary, we did the setting, we did the action, we described the story, we described a lot. Woo! And we did a quiz as well. Great. Alright, well, I had a fabulous time teaching this lesson. I'm glad you guys stuck around and we had a good time. Okay, so here is our motto. Improve your English, become more valuable. All right, it's like anything in life. When you get more skills, you become more valuable. You're more skillful. You're more able to do things. And English is like a tool, right? The more you improve your English, the better your tool is. The more value you can provide and help yourself and other people. Okay. Okay, so if you like our stuff here at Able Lingo, make sure to subscribe. Here comes the animation. animation. And if you're already subscribed, click on the little bell icon and YouTube will send you a notification when we have something new. Okay, well, thank you everyone for hanging out. Remember, improve your English, become more valuable. All right, let's see. Leah Huda says, a unique lesson. Thanks a lot, teacher. You're welcome. Thank you for attending. Garden says, great. Great. Vera Kalugina says, thanks. Tubagus Ade Rachat Hidayat says, we have learned many detailed information through one picture. Thank you so much, sir. It's valuable. Vera Kalugina says, awesome. Right? Who knew one picture could give us so much information, right? It's wonderful. Okay, I'm going to play a little bit of music and then I'm out of here. All right? I'll start it again. I like this song. It's very relaxing.